Listening 18. Listen and repeat. 1,
A musician.
2,
A computer programmer.
3,
A journalist.
4,
A gardener.
5,
An engineer.
6,
A scientist.
7,
A cook.
8,
An artist.
9,
A police officer.
10.
A firefighter.
Listening 19. Listen and say. Number 1.
She plays the guitar. She's a musician.
1. Number 2.
He works with plants. He's a gardener.
4. Number 3.
You can see her on television. She's a journalist.
3. Number 4.
She works with paints and pencils. She's an artist.
8. Number 5.
He writes computer programs. He's a computer programmer.
2. Number 6.
She wears a black and yellow uniform. She's a police officer.
9. Number 7.
He works in a lab. He's a scientist.
6. Number 8.
He wears a red helmet. He's a firefighter.
10. Number 9.
He works in a kitchen. He's a cook.
7. Number 10.
She works outside and inside. She's an engineer.
5. Listening 20. Read and listen. Who did Jack talk to first?
The job fair. Yesterday, lots of people visited the school to tell us about their jobs. They all worked in different places doing different things. There was a police officer, an artist, a gardener, and lots of other people. First, I talked to an engineer. She's got a very important job because she makes buildings and bridges safe. She designed the bridge that I cross every morning on my way to school. I listened to the computer programmer, but I didn't listen to the scientist. I didn't play the guitar with the musician either. There wasn't time to do everything. I liked the journalist the best. She works for the news channel. I watched her on TV last night. I want to be a journalist when I'm older.
Listening 21. Listen and tick the activities. Listen again and complete.
Last Saturday, Jack visited a museum. He didn't watch TV. Last Sunday, Jack listened to music and he played basketball. He didn't phone his friends. Last Saturday, Alfie didn't play basketball. He played the guitar. Last Sunday, Alfie phoned his friends and he watched TV. He didn't visit a museum.
Listening 22. Read and listen. What's the name of the bridge that Jack visited? Who designed it?
Hey, Jack. That's a great photo. Why are there so many balloons? It's the Bristol Balloon Festival. It happens every year. There are more than 100 balloons and a fireworks display. Wow! So is that bridge in Bristol? Yes. It's the Clifton Suspension Bridge. It's great. Who designed it? A famous engineer called Brunel. He lived in the 19th century. He was British, but his father was French. He was very intelligent. He's famous for designing bridges, tunnels, train lines and boats. He designed the bridge in 1831, but it didn't open until 1864. There's a famous bridge here in Portugal too. It's called the Maria Pia Bridge. The French engineer Gustave Eiffel constructed it in 1876. Eiffel? Like the Eiffel Tower? Yes, he's famous for designing that too. That's strange. I looked at a website about art yesterday. There was a painting of the Eiffel Tower by an artist from Paris. I really liked it. Check it out.
Listening 23. Listen to the dialogue. Language in action. Describing people from the past.
This is Alexander Graham Bell. He was a scientist and lived in the 19th century. Why is he famous? He's famous for designing the first telephone.
Listening 24. Read and listen. What countries were the artists from?
Styles of art. Artists use different styles when they draw and paint. Many great painters developed new styles of art. Impressionist art. Claude Monet was born in 1840 in Paris. One of his famous paintings is Water Lilies and the Japanese Bridge. He painted about 250 pictures of water lilies. Monet painted Impressionist paintings. Impressionist painters often work quickly and outdoors. They paint people and places. Pointillist art. Georges Seurat was born in 1859. He was also from Paris. He developed pointillist art, which uses little dots of colour. He painted the Eiffel Tower in 1889 when he was 29 years old. He died 2 years later. Cubist art. Juan Gris was born in Madrid in 1887. He painted Portrait of Picasso in 1912 to celebrate the work of Pablo Picasso. Picasso was one of the artists who created Cubist art. This style of art uses shapes to represent people and objects. Abstract art. Vasily Kandinsky was born in Moscow, Russia, in 1866. He painted abstract paintings. Abstract artists don't paint people, places, or things. They paint shapes, lines, and colours, like this painting. It's called Composition 8.
Listening 25. Read and listen. Find the words in the biography.
Marie Curie, A Life in Science. Marie was born in Warsaw in Poland in 1867. She was the daughter of 2 teachers. At school, Marie was an excellent student. She was very intelligent, and she wanted to be a scientist. At that time, there weren't any universities for women in Poland, but there was one in Paris. Marie didn't have any money, so she worked as a teacher for 5 years.
Sorry, Marie. You can't come in.
In 1891, she went to Paris to study science and maths. She worked very hard and was the best student in her class. In 1894, Marie met her husband, Pierre Curie. They had 2 daughters, Irene and Eve. Pierre was also a scientist, and he and Marie worked together. They discovered 2 chemicals, radium and polonium. They worked with other scientists to develop X-rays. In 1903, Marie and Pierre Curie won a Nobel Prize. Marie was the first woman to win. In 1906, she became the first female professor at the University of Paris.
She can't be a real professor. She hasn't got a moustache.
In 1911, Marie won another Nobel Prize. She was the first person to win 2 prizes.
You again?
In 1914, World War I started. Marie wanted to help, so she worked for the Red Cross. She and her daughter Irene learned to use X-rays. After the war, Marie continued to teach and work as a scientist.
I think I prefer the laboratory.
Because of Marie Curie, many women went to universities all over Europe and became scientists, doctors, and engineers. She inspired her family too. Her granddaughter is a science professor, and her daughter won a Nobel Prize.
Listening 26. Listen to Jack and his friends. What did you think about the story?
I like reading biographies because I like finding out about real people.
It was good, but I prefer fiction.
I liked the part about the war. I think Mary was brave.
Listening 27. Listen and number the pictures. Number 1.
In 1914, World War I started. Mary wanted to help, so she worked for the Red Cross. She and her daughter Irene learned to use X-rays. After the war, Mary continued to teach and work as a scientist.
I think I prefer the laboratory.
Number 2.
In 1903, Marie and Pierre Curie won a Nobel Prize. Marie was the first woman to win. In 1906, she became the first female professor at the University of Paris.
She can't be a real professor. She hasn't got a moustache.
Number 3.
In 1891, she went to Paris to study science and maths. She worked very hard and was the best student in her class.
Listening 28. Sing.
Pablo Picasso painted pictures, the best in the world, I think. Louis Pasteur invented a way to make milk safer to drink. I want to be an artist like Pablo Picasso. I want to be a scientist like Louis Pasteur. I love the work of Marie Curie. I want to be like her. Marie Curie won the Nobel Prize. She invented an X-ray machine. Her husband Pierre won a prize too. They made a fantastic team. I want to be an artist like Pablo Picasso. I want to be a scientist like Louis Pasteur. I love the work of Marie Curie. I want to be like her.
Listening 29. Listen and repeat. 1,
Actor.
2,
Theatre.
3,
Sister.
4,
Works.
5,
Her.
6,
Worst.
Listening 30. Listen and repeat the tongue twister.
Shirley Sue is an actor. She works at the theatre. Her sister is a professor. She writes her lots of letters. Shirley Sue is an actor. She works at the theatre. Her sister is a professor. She writes her lots of letters. Shirley Sue is an actor. She works at the theatre. Her sister is a professor. She writes her lots of letters.
Listening 31. Listen to Jack and his mum. Which 5 jobs do they mention?
Hello, Jack. How was your day?
It was great. I didn't go to lessons because there was a job fair at school.
Oh, that sounds good.
It was. There were lots of different people. A gardener, a computer programmer, an engineer, and we talked to them about their jobs.
How interesting. Did you talk to the engineer?
Yes, I did. I also met a journalist. She talked to me about studying to be a journalist and working for the TV news channel.
How exciting.
She went to university and studied English. After university, she worked for a newspaper. Then she became a TV journalist.
Do you still want to be a journalist?
Yes, I do.
What does Alfie want to do?
He wants to be a cook.
And was there a cook at the job fair?
Yes, there was. He made pizzas for our lunch.
Listening 32. Listen and tick the box. There is one example. Look at the pictures. Listen and look. There is one example.
Hello, Jim. Talk about your weekend.
I went out with my friends.
Did you go to the cinema?
No, I went to the beach.
Can you see the tick? Now you listen and tick the box. 1,
How did you go to the beach?
We went by bus. It's cheaper than the train.
So you went by bus.
Yes.
2,
And what did you do on the beach?
John wanted to play football, but Linda wanted to play volleyball.
And what about you?
I also wanted to play volleyball, so we played volleyball.
3,
And what did you have for lunch?
I usually like salads, but I had a burger for lunch.
Why?
Because it's easier to eat a burger sitting on the beach.
Listening 33. Listen to Jack talking to his dad. Which 4 jobs do they mention?
What are you working on, Jack?
A biography of someone with an unusual job. I'm thinking of a musician or an artist.
How about an astronaut? Someone famous like Michael Lopez Alegria.
Oh, thanks, Dad. That's a great idea. Isn't he from Spain?
I think he was born in Spain, but he went to school in California. Why don't you check online?
Here he is. He was born in Spain in 1958, but he moved to the USA when he was young. He studied to be an engineer before he became an astronaut.
When did he first go to space?
In 1995. He went 3 more times. In 2000, 2002, and 2006. He made history with the longest space flight, and he completed 10 spacewalks. He lives in Washington, D.C. now, with his family.
OK. Do you think you've got enough information for your project?
Definitely.
Listening 34. Read Jack's biography. Listen and find 3 mistakes.
Michael Lopez Alegria, the Spanish-American astronaut. Michael Lopez Alegria was born in Spain in 1958, but he moved to the USA when he was very young. He went to school in Spain. Before he became an astronaut, he studied to be a scientist. He started working for NASA in 1992 and first went into space in 1995. He completed 3 more space flights and 8 spacewalks. He was in space for 215 days. Michael made his last spaceflight in 2006. He now lives in Washington, D.C. with his family.
Listening 35. Read and listen. Call the H-Team. Catch that thief.
Read the news!
Read all about it! Top engineer shows plans for new children's hospital tomorrow!
At the shopping centre.
Oh no! Where's my case? My drawings? My plans? Help!
Call the H-Team!
I was faster today than I was yesterday.
I want to be a computer programmer.
The engineer's plans were in a case like this. The thief was at the shopping centre.
Bonnie and I can interview people at the shopping centre.
Oh, yes,
Let's go.
I was in the kitchen. I didn't see a thief.
I was outside. I didn't see a thief.
We were near the door. The thief went that way.
Yeah.
Look! The case is made of a new material, and you can see exactly where the case is all the time.
Wow! We can find it and follow it. The thief went to the square and now he's near the post office.
OK. Quick, Owen!
He didn't stop at the post office. He stopped at the end of Main Street.
Look! A hotel! Let's go inside.
Inside the hotel,
The man with the case is in room 247. My husband talked to him. He's an artist.
No, he isn't. He's a thief. Call the police.
Oh.
the police arrived quickly. There were some journalists outside.
Ah, that's my case. Thank you, officer. Thank you, H-Team.
Hooray for the H-Team!
Hooray!
Later,
yesterday we were worried, but today we're very happy.
The town's new children's hospital is amazing!
Read the news!
Read all about it!
The H-Team were heroes yesterday!